My name is John Bogle, and I'm the founder of Vanguard, the largest mutual fund manager in the world. If you want something when you're young, there's only one way to get it, and it wasn't ask your father for his credit card. It wasn't go to the bike store and tell him you'll pay him back in the next year and signing some kind of a note. It was cash and carry. So if you wanted something, you had to earn it. This is not a complicated world, and I can't imagine anything better. You know, one of the big keys of life is taking responsibility, which I always did in the school, and so you do your job, and you know, if you don't do it, there's nobody there to do it. So you better do it, come thick or thin. So you learn to take responsibility, and I honestly believe that's the most important thing kids need to do. Now, I was serious. As I told you, I was introverted, and am, and so I didn't have. My brothers would have had much more personality, had a lot more friends than I did. I was kind of a loner in a lot of ways. I lived in my own little world. I tell people then and now that in a lot of ways, and this has great blessings and great banes, kind of live my life with blinders on. There's a task ahead. Focus. Get everything else in your mind except completing the job. And that means that other things that are important in your life are excluded. And one finally regrets that. Well, let me say, before I even got, I've been working since I was 9 years old. And as I tell the story in my book, Enough, I've never felt like work was work, ever. The fifth never. And the fifth never was based on an apocryphal quote, definitely apocryphal, but it's a good quote, so I used it anyway, from Winston Churchill, who, so the apocryphal story goes, went back to the opening exercise at Harrow, all the young men in their white ties and tails, and he was old and weazened, and probably in the last year or so of his life. And it's a nice picture to paint, an easy picture to paint, whether it's true or not. And they said, Sir Winston, headmaster says, Sir Winston, could you give us a few words of wisdom? And he stands up and he says, never give up. Never, 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 never. And then he sits down. And so the speech about the fifth never was, you know, you're going to get a lot of things that are going to cause you to want to give up. But no matter how many there are, there'll always be another one in front of it. Call that the fifth never. You just got to deal with that too. And you know, it's hard. It takes a certain kind of determination. It takes a certain kind of callousness. It takes a certain kind of ambition. It takes a certain amount of ego. It involves a lot of sadness and reflection. Introspection, if you will, into who you are. And you know, I think a lot of this, by the way, just to be very clear on it, is implicit and not explicit. I mean, you know, I never went home and thought, well, I had kind of a bad day, I guess I'll introspect a little bit this evening. You know, it's something you do as part of your life. It's not some separate element. And that's true of just about everything to do with any kind of leadership or any kind of entrepreneurship. It's part of your life.